One guy who is making a bid to make his first All-NBA team selection this season is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He has been absolutely incredible for the Oklahoma City Thunder. When they traded for him in the Paul George trade, it's almost 4 years ago now. Wow. It was clear that they were getting a very, very, very good player, and now he has taken the leap to possibly reaching the cusp of being, I'm not going to say a superstar, because for me, I have a different definition of superstar. You have to put in years of a track record before I just blindly throw out superstar, because, you know, some players can play at an elite level for one season, a season and a half. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has definitely been putting in all-star production for the Thunder, but this year, he has clearly taken his game to a whole other level, and it looks sustainable at that. So far this year, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is averaging 31 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, nearly 6 assists a game on 54% shooting from the field and 38% shooting from 3. And the wild thing is, his 3-point attempts have actually gone down this year because he is attacking the rack with a ferocity and force that is up from normal. He's usually good in the paint. He is a damn good scorer. He's a really good passer, you know, a very solid defender. And this year, he's even taken that to another level. But this year, he has just been attacking the rack with force, getting to the free throw line like usual, hitting free throws at a 94% clip also. But this year, he is 3rd in the NBA in points in the paint. He is averaging over 17 points in the paint, and he's on a list that has a top 10 of Giannis, Zion, Luka, LeBron, Ja Morant, who led the league in points in the paint last year for guards, Joel Embiid, etc., etc. And the Thunder have been playing some really damn good basketball. There are games this year where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, actually a lot of games this year so far for the Thunder, where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is clearly the best player on the court. They have put on some really good displays of basketball, especially the last few games. I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander put on an absolute show in the Garden against the New York Knicks on Sunday, really put on another show against the Boston Celtics, and we all know the switchable defenders that they have. They tried everything on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander yesterday, and they could not stop that man from getting to where he wants. And it's not with blistering speed either. I've been a huge SGA fan for a while. I remember it might have been before the 2020-21 season. Yeah, it was definitely that one. It was the season after the bubble, where a lot of people had the Thunder projected as a lottery team, which they ended up being. But before that season, I felt like I was one of the few that had the Thunder as a play-in team, mainly because I was a big believer in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, he learned under the tutelage of Chris Paul. He showed to be a damn good player with the Clippers already as a rookie. And you know, ever since he's been in OKC, he's just been developing and developing. That 2020-21 season, I think he only played 36 games, but the Thunder early on, the Thunder were in the play-in race. And then, of course, you know, they sat players. SGA had a few injuries, and then the Thunder ended up being a lottery team. But I'm using that as an example to just show how talented Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is. I think he is, you know, just a future superstar guard in the making, and he's playing like it so far. He's going to have to do it for a couple of seasons, and the Thunder are going to have to start, you know, I wouldn't say start winning some more games, because they are winning quite a few games more than projected this season. They're 6-8, and the West is actually really jumbled right now, with a couple of teams that were projected to make the playoffs are actually now in the play-in or out of the playoffs in the play-in altogether. So the Thunder have a chance to really, you know, stake claim at a play-in spot, or maybe even sneak into the playoffs based on how the season is going. And this isn't a really Thunder-centric video, at least not yet, but I have really enjoyed watching the Thunder this year, almost in the same vein of how I enjoyed watching the Magic, because the Thunder just have a lot of big, long, athletic players, and Chet Holmgren hasn't even played yet. Pokusevski has taken some steps in his 3rd year. He's become a positive defender on that end of the floor so far this year, and he looks like he has more feel for the game and more of where to be and where to be at on the court. He just has a better sense and feel for the game, and he started making strides last year, but you could tell his rookie year, 2 years ago, he was just completely lost and raw. But this year, it seems like he's putting it together more. Josh Giddey, of course. The Thunder just have some major talent. And then their lottery pick, Jalen Williams, really filled in well starting yesterday for Boston. So I really loved watching the Thunder play this year in the same vein as the Magic. But the main reason I wanted to do this video is to talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, because he has repurposed some of his shots from his shot diet. He has figured out a way to just get to the rack at will whenever he wants to, more than normal. I mean, this year, it's clearly a career high in 2-point attempts. He's shooting 56% on twos. I don't know how sustainable that efficiency is, or maybe it is, because it's clear these guys can't guard Shai, and it's not with blazing quickness, it's with pivots, it's with his herky-jerky style, just his funky game and his handle, his slick handle. He's just able to get to the paint wherever he wants to, able to get any type of shot he wants to, and he's still shooting 37% from three or 38% from three, but it's only on 3 attempts a game. It's very clear that Shai has a goal of taking it to the rack and just living at the free throw line. The sign of a star player is the on-off splits as well. I mean, the Thunder are +3 whenever Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is on the court, very obviously. I mean, he's their best player. And then the Thunder just absolutely tank when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is off the court. They're a -9.3. And the Thunder definitely have a lot of talent, like I said, but the main guy on this team, the main guy I want to make this video for, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he has been having a special season so far. He is definitely, of course, in the running. I mean, all-star games really don't matter as much as they used to nowadays, but I mean, he's going to make an all-star team with the way he's playing. And if the Thunder keep winning some games, win some games they maybe aren't expected to win, stick in the play-in seed, or maybe even sneak into one of the lower non-play-in playoff seeds, by the end of the year, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should be a lock for an All-NBA team spot.